Hi everyone, today I am going to be trying out the Arteza Expert 72 set of watercolour pencils. This is the chart that I made in the video when I reviewed it, where I swatched them all and then wetted one side. I am now going to try actually doing them on a picture, which I think is a little bit more interesting. Now, just tell you what I've done. I've picked, this is a Maria Trolle book, this Moon Valley, and I've picked this book because the pages are really thick paper, which I thought would be good for watercolour. And I've picked this page here, which is right at the end. This is the colour pencil test page, as it says at the top, I think. And what I've done here as well is I've got a piece of laminate and a couple of pieces of paper blank. Well, they're not blank, but the side, that side's blank. Paper to put behind it to protect the book, just in case I use too much water and it all goes horribly wrong and through the page. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to flatten the page a little bit. So we've got this design with flowers and leaves, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to try out some of our different colours. We can do each flower a different colour and see how they come out. So I'm going to come in closer. We just sort of concentrate on one flower at a time. Oh, I'm just trying to move my book. Bear with me a moment. Oops. Sorry, just rearranging things. There we are. So we're going to concentrate on this flower, and I thought what we can do is choose a sort of different set of colours for each of the flowers. I thought we could do this one in some reds. Just having a look, we've got some darker and lighter reds that we can use. So I thought if we use the garnet red in the sort of centre and then spread out to maybe the rose or the carmine, I'll decide in a minute. So let's just grab our garnet red, which is here. I'm actually going to sharpen it. It's very flat on the end, that's how they come. So we're going to sharpen it. I've just got my normal Barrel Norris, slightly worn sharpener. I'm just going to give it a little sharpen to try and get a point on the end. There we go. It's sharpened up nicely in that sharpener, which is good. Now this is quite a brownish red, which is fine for this centre. And I'm just going to do the sort of base of each of the petals really in this. And I'm going to put it down fairly thickly because I find that when you wet a watercolour, it sort of goes a bit watery and thin. I guess that's what you would expect. And then we can sort of, it will still show really, is what I'm trying to blabber on about. So just putting this sort of, I always think that petals should be, if you're guessing, they'd probably be darker near the base where there'd be a bit more shadow from the petals around them. It's just a sort of slightly simple way of doing it, I think. I like simple. There we go. It's very sunny this morning. It was rained so much yesterday, and my mum had a little family get together, and she was going to put a gazebo out and a sort of garden thing going on, but it was so wet and actually quite cold. Not cold, but cool for a August summer day. So we were inside, but there weren't too many of us, so it wasn't too crowded. My uncle came with his daughter, granddaughter, son-in-law, and well, the granddaughter drove them. Then my my cousin came with his wife and two daughters. Another two of my cousins came with their spouses. My sister was there, her two daughters were there. I think that was everybody. It wasn't a huge gathering. My parents there, it was their house. And people, what my mum does is, because it used to got so expensive having these sort of get-togethers and paying for all the food, is she and there was also so much waste, extra food, which she would end up giving people to take home or throwing away. What she does now, she asks people to bring food. So I always do a platter of veggies, sort of veggie sticks, you know, carrots and sugar snaps and different colours of pepper and cucumber and stuff, and bought some hummus to put with them, and oh, I did some radishes, tomatoes and some strips of pita bread, so people could do sort of dips if they wanted. It's also my boys like those, my sister does too. Her and her girls, well, her and her one daughter are vegan, her other girl's vegetarian, but a lot of people will bring things like sausage rolls and pork pies and quiches and things, and you're never sure. None of them are vegan, so I always bring something vegan, and then my sister's lot can have it if they want to, but you know, she brings stuff too. And you know, a lot of people brought quiches, so I spent quite a bit of time in the kitchen sort of cooking, well, warming through, not really cooking is it, warming through the quiches and various bits and pieces that people had brought. There were different pasties and spring rolls and things like that, and my mum would cook some bread as well. It was the sort of half baked and you just finish it off. Okay, so here's my layer. I was going to say as well, I didn't want to interrupt myself, that if you have got the 72 set of Artezas that aren't the watercolour, you could still follow along with this. The colours are the same as we established. The colours are the same, so you can just follow along and just not wet it at the end. So here's the crimson red. I think I'm going to go for that one next. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. It's actually quite pink. The garnet red is more orange. Maybe, no, I think I'm going to use the rose red. I feel like the rose red is slightly more orangey, so that might be a better idea to go with this one. Sharpen it. Again, it sharpens nicely. So here it is, rose red. There we are. I'm going to sort of go over what's there already and take the colour to the tip. Again, I'm going to put it down quite thick because I think that will help us with the watercolouring, the water. But I don't know. I'm just sort of getting used to. I do have the Castle watercolour pencils. I've used them a little bit, but I don't use watercolour pencils enough, I have to say. Look at that mess. There we go. Should use my brush. Don't blow. Especially onto wet watercolour pencils. Anyway, but yeah, it was a nice gathering, sort of. And what was interesting is last time, or a couple of times ago, when we had a little get together when there was less of us, my mum got really tired, but this time she didn't, so that was nice. I tried to help out, and other people did too, but there wasn't that much to do because normally after tea, you know, after people have eaten, there's loads of washing up. But because there weren't so many people there, most of it could go in the dishwasher. Now these aren't blending particularly well dry, I have to say. I can see a line. That might just be my fault from not fading the colour down very well. But I'm hoping that once I put on the water, it will mix up nicely. But we'll find out in a minute. So it was, yeah, it was nice. And we sort of didn't stay too late because, well, it's sort of, the people started going home, and then also I'd been chatting to people, but they started talking about, well, things that were in the news that I didn't want to talk about, so we sort of left. My niece left as well, then she was ready to go, and I was getting tired, to be honest. So we also had to get home. There's a lot of road closures around here at the moment, so we wanted to get home in the light so that we could see, because we had to go down little country lanes and things. And yes, that was good. So it was nice. But today is Sunday, and I've asked everybody what they want to do today. Nobody's got any jobs they need me for, so I thought I'd come and do some recording, have some fun with my new pencils, and I've got a few videos I want to do actually, so that's good. I've also nearly finished Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I'd like to try and get on with that today. I'm working on a double page at the moment, which won't take too long. Then probably an hour or two. Then I've got a really complicated page to do, which I've been procrastinating, you know how it is. And then another one which is detailed but not difficult, if you know what I mean. The complicated page I've got left is the one, if you know the book, with lots of sort of treasures all overlapping each other. There's a lot of spoons and teapot and a mirror and a sort of box and all sorts of things like that. And I still remember how I did it last time, and I was really happy with how I did it last time. So it's sort of putting pressure on me this time to sort of, can I make it better than I did last time? Because this is my second copy of the book. Or do I just go for it? Do I just not try and make it better? Or, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm like, oh, I don't really know what to do. Not really in the middle, are we? It's quite a nice colour, this, I think. Anyway, so I was a little bit like apprehensive, really. But I haven't decided how I'm going to do it. But and then I've got one other page after that, so that's it. I mean, it's quite a big book. You sort of think, oh, well, you know, there's lots of pages, but a lot of the pages have only got a little bit on, so it doesn't take long, but actually it does take quite a long time. But as I say, it's my second copy, and I've got a few other Johanna Basford books I'm working on as well, which would be nice to finish. Like Lost Ocean, I've finished one copy, but I've sort of got a newly started copy that I haven't done much in. Let's get some water on here. Got cramp in my hand and my arm. Anyway, so this is my Caran Dache water brush. You can wet things however you wish. Ooh, I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper next to me. Okay, so I'm just going to wet my brush, and oh, it is wet already. That's fine. So this is a fibre tip nib, which is how I like to do my water, because I feel like I've got more control, whereas with a brush I'm not very good. So I'm trying to do each petal separately, because I think that, and I want to try and spread the darker colour up towards the tip a little bit to blend it in. It's quite hard to tell while it's still wet whether that's working. But I think a big advantage of watercolour is that it is easy to blend, you know, compared with just pencils. You don't have to, the water does the work for you. So as long as you don't add too much, it can be pretty handy. But something I find sometimes I'm not very good at is making sure I do all of it. You know, sometimes I miss bits and I don't notice until later, and that can look a little bit odd, because if you've got a bit that it just looks a different texture or a different colour. You can see how by using the water I'm sort of covering the paper. So if you compare the bits I've wet and the bits I haven't, it looks darker because it's spreading over the whole of the paper, whereas here, like, there's a bit here that looks a little bit whiter where I haven't put down quite so much pencil. Oh, it's getting a bit messy. So if you get a gap, just spread it back, I think. Done that bit. Now the good thing with watercolour pencils normally is that once you can colour over the top of it once you've wetted it. So wet or dry pencil. So if you are not keen with what it looks like, you can go back over, or if it's faded it, or I don't know, made it look too different to what you were trying to do, sort of thing. No. It adds an extra task to your colouring, if you know what I mean, but it reduces the amount of layers you need to put down in order to hide the white paper. So or if you were going to use a blending pencil or blending solution, then you can do this instead, obviously, if you used a watercolour pencil. Oh, I went out the lines. This is always the problem for me with it, but it doesn't matter too much. And I think it could be quite good for backgrounds, because I find that it's harder to get an even blend on a larger area. So if you use this for a background, then you could maybe get away with less layers of colour. I'm just going to rub my brush on my scrap piece of paper to get the red off the tip, so that when we do our next one, it doesn't go bright red. I'm rather pleased with that, I have to say. There we go. Right. So that was our 2 reds. We'll do a few greens now. Whoops. Because I think I need to work from top down because of the fact that it's getting wet. What should we do? Let's grab a dark green. Let's grab the jade green. Where are you? Oh, there it is. This is the jade green. I've got to sharpen them all first, because they've all got these strange flat ends. Jade green. I suppose having a flat end means perhaps they're less likely to snap the tips when they're being packaged. So I'm going to just put a dark bit along the edge of the vein of the leaf, and along here. Our red's gone into the leaf a little bit. It's okay, I'm used to that sort of thing. I'm not very accurate at colouring. Now, I still don't know who sent me these pencils, so let me say a big thank you to whoever it was. Do get in touch with me. You can get in touch with, you can send me a private message through my Instagram or Facebook if you'd rather not go public, and let me know so I can thank you personally. Very much appreciate it. I'm just going to get a fairly thick layer here, like that. So there's our jade, and now I want a green that will sort of go with it. I think the mint green might work. It's quite pale, but I think because we're going to be blending it with the water, I think it might work. We'll have a go. So here it is, mint green. I've just realised you can't see. I'm so sorry. There we go. Now I'm going to put this all over because it is quite a different colour. I didn't really realise, but I think we can make it work because, as I say, we're blending it together. Now these sound a little bit dry on the paper. You can hear them. They're not scratchy, and I find them okay to colour with. You know, they're not as smoothly soft as some brands, of course, but because they're not a regular pencil, but they're not sticky. I find is it Inktense? So sticky. They're very strange. Maybe it's just me, but I find them weird to use. I've only used a few. I think I own 3. It's just, there we go. So there's that one. Let's get some water. I'm just going to go along that stem in the middle first, or vein, and I'm just going to take it out to the edge. Blend those colours together. Oops, it's getting a bit pale. And there we go. Now you can mix pencils with a blending solution rather than water if you want to. Watercolour pencils. I haven't tried it with these. This is my first sort of main try with these. There we go. Just gonna get the scribble with on my scrap piece of paper. There we go. My husband always uses I want to say tissue paper. That isn't what I mean. I'm going to use the forest green next. Kitchen paper, you know, kitchen roll, for scribbling his water pen on, whereas I'm just using a piece of printer paper that I printed something on, but I feel like I'm squiffing. There we go. Let's do this one under here. That that, you know, I printed something on by mistake, and I just used that, just a bit of paper that I would otherwise have recycled, so I recycle it after. I'm just going to gently spread that out. I like this colour. Okay, a police car. It's early on a Sunday morning. My son is laughing next door. Lovely. I think this is going to go better with the red, but I just thought we'd try some different combinations because we can. And this is just an experimental picture in the back of the book. It's going to be the strangest looking rose plant tree. I assume it's a red. Was it a dahlia? I don't know, it probably tells me on these, but it's not in English. So. Right, so for the lighter colour, I think I might use the matcha green. I think that might work. There it is. There we go. Matcha green. That's a nice colour too. I do like this. I do like some of the shades in these Artezas, I have to say. Ooh, I just snapped the end there. Can you see? There he is. Pressed a bit too hard. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that stem. I'm not going to worry about it now. So I think I definitely need to improve my wetting technique. For want of a better word. I'll have to ask my husband about it because he used to use watercolour pencils loads. So I'll ask him what the technique is. But I'm having fun. That's lovely colours. Let's see how it changes with the water. It's suddenly quite wet. I haven't done anything to the brush. I haven't pressed the, there's a button you can push to release water, which I haven't pushed. I don't know what's happening, but I'm sure it'll be okay. It's a beautiful colour. It looks even nicer wet. There we go. Just trying to make sure I spread it so it's quite even. There we go. That's a nice combo. Okay, this one here next. Gonna grab, what should we grab next? The sage green. It's almost a grey green. It's a very different green to what we've just used. Sage. We'll go up here. Yeah, it's rather nice to get all the chores done yesterday. Means we've got a bit of a day off today. And I don't think we've got anything happening next weekend. No. Weekend after, we have guests. Just looking on my calendar, sorry. The weekend after we have guests on, I think, one of the days. But that would be nice. But next weekend we don't, so give me a chance to get some chores done ready for when they come. But we're pretty much up to date with what I want to do is get, they have these things, magic, it's like a magic eraser or something that you can buy. I couldn't get one in the supermarket yesterday. It's like a sort of a white spongy thing. And I don't know what it's got on it, but you can use it to get rid of all sorts of dirt in the house. So I wanted to go around my walls because some of the walls are quite dirty for various reasons. So I wanted to use one of those. Now, just choosing a colour to go with this. This is, I think it might go quite well with the fern green, but that's also quite dark. But maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe the two darks together will be okay. Oh, I sharpened that and knocked the end off it. There we go, that's better. The fern green. I'm going to use this quite lightly because it is still quite a fairly dark colour. There we go. Yeah, we're coming into September already. Boys will be, well, it's September probably when this video comes out. I thought, yeah, because I was planning this for a different day and then I realised I had other videos. Actually, yes, because the review went out and then I said I'd do a picture the next day, and then I think it was Planner Monday, so I did that instead. But anyway, it'll be uni time, back to uni soon. Boys. So it has pros and cons, uni, for me, for them. I mean, I miss them not being here, but I do like my own space. So having some time on my own is rather nice. But it depends who's where and when, because I don't always get time on my own very much if they're, because husband's off he's not in work for a few days a week as well. So as I say, it depends who's where and when and what their timetables are. I haven't had them yet. My one son says he's going to be in more because they've told them last year the classes will be longer, or they have more classes or something. But there we go. Yeah, those two colours sort of merged together a bit, didn't they? That's okay. Got this little bud. I'm going to do that. I fancy doing a little bit of colour. So I think I'm going to do a bit of blue for that one. Just having a quick look at the blues. I think I should do a tad of mykonos blue first. It isn't the darkest of blues, but it's really pretty. And then I'm going to do the tips in probably the robin egg blue. So here's mykonos blue. Ooh, blinded you with it then, sorry. And do the base of these like that, and then just sort of taper it off a bit. Yeah, so they'll be off to uni. Yeah, so it's, you know, I get stressed about the trains and whether they'll get there on time and things like that, and how to get them there if the trains are striking, well, train drivers are striking and all that sort of thing. But I get the time to myself, which is something that I crave. So once I know they're in their class and they're settled, then I can relax. This is robin egg blue. So it's really a sort of bit of a trade-off really, but their terms aren't that long. Might feel long, but it's not really. I think this first one is longest because it goes from, it goes from the sort of last week of September all the way till sort of December. They get no break, and they have to have a piece of work handed in before they go back in January, I think. Let's just get rid of all those crumbs. Just, it's beautiful, isn't it? Activate that, lovely colours. They then it's a bit easier in this next term because they get an Easter in the middle, but last time Easter was just study the whole time, so I expect it'll be the same. But then they get the huge long summer. Right, we're going to use a moss green this time. I'm just randomly picked one. I don't know if it's going to particularly go with this blue, to be honest. I think I'm not going to use it here, I'm going to use it here because it's not going to go with that blue. It's quite olivey. I probably won't do the whole of this because it's going on a bit. I've got to do my completed pages video for August yet. sounds a bit silly because this is September going out, but I haven't done it yet. But I wanted to get a few more pictures done first. But this one won't be in it because this video goes out in September, so I'll hold this one back. This gets quite complicated. And I'm going to do the pear green for this one. Yeah, it gets a bit complicated. Sort of working it all out, what video goes where. But I put a few compilations up because I basically needed a bit of a break, to be honest. My hormones have been all over the place, and I've been struggling a little bit with my sort of mental health. Not because of this helps me, but just generally it's been a bit rubbish. Been wondering whether to go and see the doc and get some HRT, to be honest, but I'm going to see if it lasts. It might just be a little phase. I don't really want to go on it, so we'll see. And here is this one. Just going to wet this, so we're going to see. I'm going to wait and see, but had been feeling a bit down, and actually recording really helps me, makes me feel really good, so that's great. But I hadn't I got to the point where one day I wasn't up for it, which is fine. Some days I'm not, because I have to talk and I have to think of things to say, etc. Some days I'm just not really quite up for that, but it's not often. Some days it's just because I've done so much talking, or I haven't got anything exciting to tell you. Not that it is all that exciting anyway, but you know what I mean. I'm going to need some basil green on this one. I think that's a bit more of the bit nearer to the right colour sort of thing. Here we go. Basil. So yeah, I thought what I would do is I would put some of the compilations I made when my bathroom was being done up in the mornings for you, because it would just give me a little bit of breathing space to not feel pressured to make loads of videos. And it's my own self pressure, it's nobody else's, but it means that I can just do some longer ones if I want to, which I have been doing, things like that, so I can just feel a bit more in control. There we go. So I'm going to just wet this bit. I've only done the one colour here because it's only a little bit of space. Okay. We're going to do this flower next. Now what colour? I think we should go for a purpley colour. Let's have a look at what we've got. We've got the amethyst. Is our bright purple. I know the amethyst purple in my set of regular Artezas is really short. Use it a lot. Now the centre of the flower. I'm wondering whether to just do it in the purple, whether it's like, is it like, no, I was thinking, is it like just little petals waiting to open, or is it like a little bit different? And I think it's a little bit different, so I'm going to do it in a yellow, I think, just because I think we can try out a yellow for one, but also I think it would go nicely with this purple, a sort of slightly orangey yellow. Really good. Now I'm going all the way to the edge of these petals, but I should really be leaving room for a second colour. Oh, exciting news today. I used my new shower for the first time. Hey! It was interesting. My kids used it last night, and then I used it this morning. And my one boy had said, oh, it's so good, it's like a massage, the water is so hard. I was like, oh no. I like gentle. And my other son said, oh, it's like, because it's so hard, it only sprays on one little area of your body at a time, and he didn't like it. So he told him how to turn down the water pressure on the shower. You know, on the on-off button you can change how fast the water comes out, so he did that. So when I used it, I realised exactly what they meant, and I turned it down so that it was just a little sprinkle rather than a hard pressure wash. I didn't need a pressure wash, I wasn't that dirty. So anyway, that was good. But yeah, it was nice to be able to use that. And I think it's going to take a bit of adjusting to. I think it always does with the new thing. You know, because I can hear a dripping noise. It's very weird. In the wall. Which is a bit of a worry. But anyway. I think I've heard it like that in here before. And this wall in here goes next door on the other side, so I never know it's there or what it is. But I certainly can't see any drip, any water coming through the ceiling. And how paranoid am I? Just because I've just had water coming through the ceiling in the hallway. It's make you wonder, doesn't it? I don't know why it'd be dripping in here, because the other shower is above this room, which we haven't been using. I don't know. Anyways, it was nice to be able to like be in the same bathroom. You know, like my towel is now in the bathroom that I actually have my shower, rather than in the other bathroom, sort of thing, and that sort of thing. So it's nice. So yeah, it's good. It's nice to know it's all fixed and done now. Though I saw my regular plumber, who isn't, he didn't want to do the bathroom work. I saw him yesterday, and I said, I've got a few jobs for you. So, okay. And he always asks me how it's going, because he knows I had a trouble with the shower, because I had, we were going to get him to do it, and then he didn't have the time, and he recommended someone to us to do it, so it's all gone very well. So he's asking how it was going and that sort of thing. I've decided that I'm not going to do this plus purple. I think I'm going to put a pink in here on the tips, so we can see how nicely it will blend together into a pink. I think that would be good. How are we doing for time? 37 minutes. My coffee's going cold next door. I might make this my last bit, and then maybe, I don't want to leave it half done though, so maybe I'll finish it in the next video. I think that might be good. Hopefully you don't mind, because I don't know if any of you are going to be colouring along. I suppose if you've got this book and you've got pencils, any pencils, you could colour along. But it's a bit of a mishmash, isn't it? It's a very unique plant. I think it's fun, but yeah, it is a bit of a mishmash. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to try and choose a pink. So some of the pinks in this set are a bit orangey. We want one that's definitely more reddish. So I'm having a look. The eggplant purple is quite a bright pinky-ish colour. Could potentially use, but I was probably thinking of something a little bit lighter. Maybe the fuchsia is still quite bright. Maybe the flamingo pink is a bit orangey. The peony pink might work. Maybe that will be the way to go. But it might just get a little bit overtaken by the dark. Let's try it. Is that the peony pink? Or is that the... No. Is it that one? Yeah, it's this one. It looks like a fluorescent colour, peony pink. So I'm just going to put this on the tips. There we go. So I asked my husband what he thought of the shower. He was in there when I went down for breakfast. I really should ask him, shouldn't I? He was talking about the shower tube. Tube isn't the right word. The hose thing that the water goes in towards the shower head. That has got... Oh, I need to sharpen this. I haven't sharpened it. That's why it's hard to use. It still looks quite orangey, this. Anyway. It's got like a plastic cover over it, so it makes it quite stiff and difficult to sort of manoeuvre around, because we don't have a fixed shower head. We like one that's not, and then you can run the water, you can hold it down and run the water to get it temperature without standing under it. Our shower cubicle is really small, so you can't step away from the shower when you're getting the temperature right. And also I like to take the shower head down to rinse off better. So that was a little bit awkward, but get used to it, I'm sure. It's like any new thing, isn't it? It takes a little bit of time to get used to it. I think we've got more leaves than we have greens, but we might do some that are slightly less conventional. Could do some brown on this big main stem, for example. We could do some brown leaves, orange autumnal colours, maybe not. Do some pink. I don't know. We'll see what comes about, what strange thoughts leave my head. This one is really badly coloured here, really messy. I wonder if I can rescue it with water, or whether it's just too messy. I'll find out, won't we? There we go. Right, here's our pen. Our water pen. I haven't done the centre. I need to try not to get purple on the middle, because there's a lot of water coming out of here. Yeah, I don't want to, because I want that centre to be yellow. I don't know why there's suddenly so much water. It's almost sitting on the surface of the paper in a pool. Which is interesting. These little crumbs that have come off, I'll just try and dissolve them a bit. They're not though. Interesting. I'm going to do this top bit so I don't put my hand in the bottom bit. Yeah, this pink is a little bit disappearing a bit. I think it's okay. Yeah, so it's showing up enough so you can know that I've done a different colour. Yeah, it's quite interesting seeing my family. Yesterday my cousin was telling me about all the different things that her children and grandchildren have wrong with them medically wise, which is a little bit of a worry, to think they're so young and they've got all these things. Ooh. But fortunately I stay pretty healthy myself, apart from a bit of a sore back yesterday and today. I don't know what that's all about, but it's fine, it'll go. It's not that bad. I probably need a walk, to be honest. I haven't had a walk for a while. Probably should have one today, really. If it's sunny, it might get too hot. But yeah, I might go out later. But anyway, apart from that, I'm fine, which is good. Not on any meds or anything. A lot of them have type 2 diabetes. Telling me about that. You know, various it was interesting, my cousin told me about saying things that make her blood sugar spike. She's got a continuous glucose monitor. She was saying when she was having soaked oats for breakfast, it made her go really high. And now she's having shredded wheat instead. It doesn't, obviously it still goes high after eating, but it goes back down before lunch, whereas when she was having soaked oats it didn't, which I found quite interesting, because you would have thought both being carbohydrates it might react the same way. Anyway, let's pop this back into shot so you can see all of what I've done. I've done 45 minutes, I think that's enough for a while. I'm going to finish it off in another video. So there's that. Actually, the colours are so pretty, so really nice. I think the wetting them has made them look more vibrant than if I had just used that much colour using the regular pencils. So that's really good. I'm pleased with that. And yeah, I'll come back and do the rest. Yeah, it'll probably be tomorrow's video, I think. I can't quite keep up with what's what at the minute. I'm getting a bit of a muddle, to be honest. But hopefully. Anyway, I will be back with this other half at some point. But thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.